Hey everybody, Dr. Vince Gutierrez here, physical therapist. You can find me at movementthinker.org. And so I'm going to keep going with the questions that were asked. And, again, I'm doing an interview at a local high school. It's going to be roughly a 2-hour lecture, and they gave me a bunch of questions to answer. So I'm going to answer these questions essentially one by one. I'm going to start off with just one question right now at a time. Got 2 kids, 3 kids actually, but the big one's watching TV, so that one's pretty easy. Small one, if you can't see, I'm off to the side here, and so she's standing by me, and the other one's coming next to me. So I probably only have like 3 to 5 minutes before they're going to start wanting something. All right, so the first question is what skills, academic or personal, are required for your job? The first skill that is the most important is the ability to communicate. That trumps anything, right? The PT skills can be taught, assuming you're not inept, and you're not a dunce. The PT skills can be taught, but the ability to communicate, man, I don't know, right? I've seen some students come through that just really struggle, right? They struggle with empathetic listening. Part of it just has to do with upbringing and experiences that they have. They can't connect with some patients because they don't have anywhere near similar experiences, right? And this is something that I touched on before, is that if you come from a haves type of family, go spend some time around the have-nots, right? And if you come from a have-not type of family, go figure out how you can spend time with the haves, and one of the ways that that can be done, because that's what everybody says, well, it's easy to say, but how do you do it? Go try to get a job as a caddy somewhere, where you're not making much money. Get a job as a busboy in a country club. This is what some of my family did. And I can remember my older brother, he was a busboy at the country club, and so he got to hang out with those who had money, even though we didn't necessarily grow up having money. And the ability to communicate and think on your feet is extremely important. So I highly recommend taking a theater class. I highly recommend taking improv, because if you don't know how to roll with what's happening in the clinic, it's gonna come across as being forced, right? And I see that with many students who are working with patients, and the students get flustered because they get caught up in the conversation and they're not sure where to go. They're not able to flow with questions that patients are asking. And honestly, there's no harm in saying, I don't know, I don't have the answer, but I will work on getting the answer for you. And so that ability to communicate that honesty, without, and to be able to give an answer without arrogance or ego, that to me is the most important part of our profession. I think there was a study done by, give me a second here, it was Guo, 90-something, that said one of the top things that patients want when they come in is education. They want to know what's going on with them. And so you have to be able to communicate with the patient for them to be able to receive the message that they're coming in for. One of the analogies that I like to give students is, you have a pitcher and a catcher in a baseball, right? The pitcher may throw the ball, but if the catcher's not ready to receive it, it doesn't matter. If the catcher's ready to receive it, but the pitcher doesn't know how to throw it, it doesn't matter. The ball is the message, right? And so you have to learn how to deliver your message to the patient that you're working with in order for the patient to understand. And again, I'm going on this one a little bit longer than I would go on other questions because it's that important to me. For those of you that didn't watch the other videos, I was training to be a teacher before I got into PT school. And one of the things that we're taught is, and it's sad, it's a sad state of affairs, right? I was trying to be a high school teacher, but always teach your patients as if they're at a second grade level, getting there. When they've demonstrated that they understand that, you can start leveling up. But if you start teaching them like they're at your level, right, a doctorate level, then they may never catch up to you, and that's a patient loss that you were delivering a message that they couldn't understand. And so make sure that you're delivering a message that a second grader, an 8-year-old would be able to understand. So learn how to bring down your terminology for the patient who's in front of you. And if you can't, go have conversations with non-therapists and try to educate them about what you do in your profession. At some point, you're going to realize the language gap that's there, and you'll bring down that message to that person's level. You're not doing it for everybody, and you're not doing it all the time. What's going to happen is those people who demonstrate that proficiency in what you're trying to teach, you can start leveling up, right? I mean, again, I've had conversations with people who have little experience but very horrible healthcare knowledge, and conversations with neurosurgeons, right? You have to be able to take that same message and deliver it to the person who can't understand and to the person who has such a thorough understanding. So in summary, the most important attribute of being a physical therapist is your ability to communicate and listen. That's it. Everything else, skills, knowledge base, that can all be taught. But if you don't have those first two, you're really going to struggle in this profession. Thanks for watching.